What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Now guys, I've said it a million times, I'll keep saying it. Watch collecting has to do with more than just the watches themselves. Kind of confusing, we're going to talk about that more on Wednesday's episode, so stay tuned for that. But pretty much, there's often sentimental value when it comes to watches. Maybe historical value, especially when we're talking about vintage watches. You can learn a lot about watches in general. And yeah, when I heard about Cincinnati Watch Company's new P-40M, I was very, very interested, and let me tell you why. It's 4:35 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alright, here it is, guys, the Cincinnati Watch Co. P-40M. Now, for you history buffs out there, you already know P-40 is very, very significant. You see, the P-40 Warhawk, this plane right here, is one of the most prolific fighters in World War II, and I have a very interesting stat. The US built 11,998 P-40s before 1944, so that's a whole lot of these babies flying around. And guys, I don't know why you'd buy this watch without already knowing about the P-40, but if you didn't know about the P-40, don't worry, because when you buy this watch, it actually comes with this little die-cast model of a P-40 Warhawk. Very cool. And one thing I really like is that this watch, when it comes to its design, actually has some subtle nods to World War II aviation. I mean, when you look at the dial, it definitely looks like a classic aviation watch, right? It's a pilot's watch. And when we flip the watch over, the case back is actually designed as an altitude indicator that would be in one of these P-40s. Now let's quickly go over the specs on this P-40M, and then I'll tell you what I think about the watch as a whole. Alright, so this P-40M is 40.5 millimeters around, and it's about 10 millimeters thick when you include the domed sapphire crystal, and it's 47.5 millimeters lug to lug. Now I mentioned that case back and how it's designed after the altitude indicator in this plane. Well, you can see a cutout, and that's actually a mineral crystal back there showing off its Sellita hand wind movement. Let's go ahead and talk about that movement. Now this watch is running a Sellita SW215-1 hand wind. It's a 19 joule hand wind movement with a 42-hour power reserve. It's got hacking and a really nice date complication down at the 6 o'clock. Now this watch comes as you see it here with its bracelet, but it also comes with an olive drab canvas strap. Let's go ahead and throw this on. I'm gonna take off my Seiko Tuna and we can see what it's like on the wrist. All right, here it is, the Cincinnati Watch Co. PM40. Now it's a bit loose on me right now because when I sized it, it was actually kind of hotter outside, so my wrist was a little bit swollen. Now it's actually kind of a gloomy, cold, rainy day, so again, a little bit loose, but still a very, very comfortable watch. I love that it's 10 millimeters thick, actually a very slim profile, so it lays on your wrist very flat, very, very nice. So what do I think of this P-40M from Cincinnati Watch Co.? Well, the first thing that stands out to me is that it really does look like a pilot's watch, right? I love the black dial with the big, bold indexes, the big, bold, sturdy, robust hands, and that very classically designed crown that you'd expect to have on a pilot's watch. Another thing I really like about this watch is that it's very dynamic, okay? So although it's very easy to read, very legible, it's not boring, right? It's got a stepped cut dial. I love that center cut on the dial, and the big, bold applied indexes gives your eye something really nice to look at. And guys, you know me, I am very, very picky when it comes to a date window, and I love how they chose the 6 o'clock date window. Very cleanly done, well centered, very tidy. And all in all, guys, this watch just feels very solid, right? It feels like a proper watch. Nothing's flimsy or hollow. It just feels good. And that's honestly probably the biggest compliment I can give a watch, right? It feels like a watch. And another really cool thing about this watch as a whole is that it's a pilot's watch, but it's unique, and it's got some really interesting history behind it, again, celebrating this P-40 Warhawk. Just a really cool plane and a really cool watch to go along with it. Now guys, I do have a criticism of this watch. It's kind of a small one, but still want to bring it up with you now that I have it here with me because again, when I'm done with this review, it's going back to Cincinnati Watch Co. So, okay, this is a prototype. Maybe the production models will be a little bit different. Everything is tidy, right? Everything is nice to look at. Now, I wish the case back was a bit more bold, a bit more detailed. I know it's supposed to kind of represent that altitude indicator back here, but again, kind of have to get it in the right light to see what's going on back here. So that's kind of it, maybe a small complaint, but I wish it was a little bit more bold. Now guys, I told you earlier when you get this watch, you also get this little plane to go along with it, but You also get a 1-year membership to the Tri-State Warbird Museum, and this is a letter from Cincinnati Watch Co. A portion of the proceeds from this watch will benefit the Tri-State Warbird Museum in its efforts to restore World War II aircraft. All the planes they restore are in flying condition, and they fly them regularly. The museum's mission is to educate and display the awesome collection of planes they have. Very, very cool. So guys, all in all, this P-40M from Cincinnati Watch Co. is a really cool watch with a definite historical aspect there, but when you get the watch, you're also supporting a really cool cause. So guys, if you're interested, I'm gonna leave a link to Cincinnati Watch Company's website where you can learn more about this P-40M, but again, I think it's a really cool, unique, historical pilot's watch, but I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Would you wear this watch? Do you think the history is cool? I know some of you are gonna complain about it coming with this little toy plane. Oh, I don't need my watches to come with toys. This isn't a Happy Meal. But if it came with French fries, I'd be very happy. But all jokes aside, seriously, leave me a comment. We can talk in the comment section. And as always, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and supporting the channel. Go ahead, click the link in the description below and shop at the Time Teller shop. I got watches, watch straps, watch winders, watch toolkits even. It truly is the one-stop shop for the watch collector like you. So what are you waiting for? Click that link and check it out. And if you're new here, if this is your first time joining us here at the Time Teller channel, I want to say thank you so much for being here and watching my content. I do this all for you. So click that subscribe button. It takes 1 second and it helps me out a ton. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and click that little bell icon so you do not miss an episode of The Time Teller. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with other watch enthusiasts, other people like you. I'm Jory Goodman, The Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Real quick, if you enjoyed this episode, then do not worry, the fun doesn't need to stop here. Check out these recommended episodes that are going to be popping up on the screen anytime now. Also, take a moment, check out my brand new channel, the Time Away channel. It's where I talk about everything outside of the watch world, some of my other collections, some of my other hobbies. And if you're not interested in any of that, don't worry, just stay right here and I will see you right here. Because I never leave. I am trapped inside of this camera. I like toys, by the way.